My sister stole my husband. Years later, she wanted my kidney. You won't believe what I said. I always thought family was supposed to be your safety net, your backup when life goes sideways. Turns out, mine was the reason everything fell apart. See, my wife cheated on me with my own sister, and to make it worse, my family took her side. Yep, after all that betrayal, they didn't even blink. They backed my sister. I walked away from all of them. I had no choice. Years went by. I started healing. Then, out of the blue, I get a call. Not an apology, not a, hey, we were wrong. Nah, they wanted a favor, a kidney to be exact, for the same sister who wrecked my marriage. Let me back up a bit. About 8 months ago, my sister Emily came crawling back to our hometown after being in Florida since she was 18. She's 28 now. Her longtime boyfriend dumped her and took off to another city, leaving her broke and alone. She claimed he'd been cheating with men. I didn't know the guy all that well, but that just didn't sound right. I'd only met him 3 times, twice over Christmas, and once when my wife and I visited them for a day during vacation. He seemed normal, quiet, didn't strike me as the double life type. I tried reaching out to him once just to hear his side, but he blocked me, so I left it alone. Emily moved back in with our parents, Kelly and Jimmy. Mom's 55, Dad's 56. For about a month, she struggled to find work, so I asked my wife if Ethan, my boss, could help her out. He's got pull in his company. Thought maybe he could get her a foot in the door. He did, and she landed a job in his department. It was right in her field. Now, me and Emily, we were never tight growing up. She was always Mom's favorite, the golden child. It wasn't ever in your face, just little things that added up. When we both turned 16, we got cars. Mine was an old Dodge Neon, 8 years old, barely hanging on. Hers, a shiny 2-year-old Mitsubishi Eclipse. When she danced, they paid for rehearsals, outfits, contests. Some were 6, 7 hours away, and they didn't blink. Meanwhile, when I asked for $50 to attend a local basketball camp, you'd think I asked them to build me a sports arena. What really stung? When I came home 15 minutes late from a date at 17, they took my car for a whole month. The very next year, Emily showed up 2 hours late, reeking of pot, and all she got was a lecture. So yeah, I didn't exactly cry when she moved away for college and stayed gone. But when she came back and started hanging around more, I thought maybe things were different. She seemed like she was trying to reconnect with me, which I appreciated at first. Then I noticed how close she was getting to Ethan. They'd talk and laugh about work stuff all the time. They had inside jokes I didn't get. And every time I asked what they were talking about, I'd get, "Oh, just work stuff." It started to feel like I was the third wheel in my own house. I finally asked Ethan about it, and he said they just had a lot in common, that they were working on projects together. Seemed innocent enough until I started noticing some weird stuff. After about a month, I'd come home from work, and Emily would already be at our place. Ethan worked 8 to 4:30, I worked 10 to 7, so she had time with him alone almost every day. I'd ask, "Why is she here?" and always got the same answer, "Work stuff." Then one day, I noticed the bed. Now, I know this might sound nuts, but I always make the bed before I leave for work. And I always set the pillowcases a certain way, with the open end facing out. That day, when I got home, the pillows were flipped inward. 2 of them. I asked Ethan if he'd been in bed. He looked surprised and said, "No." Why? I told him the bed wasn't how I left it. He just said I must have remembered it wrong. That night, I went through his phone and laptop while he slept. Nothing. No texts, no photos. But they worked together all day, every day. Why would they need to text? I felt like I was losing my damn mind. 2 weeks later, we're at dinner at my folks' place. Everything's going fine, until I see something. Emily was walking by Ethan, and she just grabbed his arm, real casual. He looked at her, she whispered something, and then they pressed their foreheads together. Just for a second. But I saw it. Ethan jerked away, and Emily smiled at me, like she wanted me to know. At that moment, I knew. I didn't want to believe it. I'd been with Ethan since I was 21. I loved him. So I planned a weekend getaway to clear my head and to confront him. I needed the truth, even if it hurt. Well, that brings us to the latest mess. Just last week, of all people, Ethan showed up at my apartment. Now, Austin and I don't live together just yet, but that's changing real soon. Anyway, Ethan looked sharp. Too sharp, like he'd spent extra time trying to look presentable. I opened the door, stared at him, and said straight up, "What do you want?" He sighed and said, "I just want to talk. I'm sorry for everything. Emily and I are getting divorced. Turns out she was cheating on me throughout our entire marriage." Yeah, shocker. He added, "I'm not asking to get back together, but maybe we could talk, get some closure for both of us." I blinked a couple times, trying not to laugh in his face. Then I gave him a cold stare and said, "No, you don't get closure. You made your bed. Did you honestly think that gold-digging hussy, whose beds had more traffic than the Holiday Inn, was gonna suddenly close up shop just 'cause you slapped a ring on her? You're even dumber than I thought. I forgive nothing. I want nothing from you. I don't care. I'm better off now. I always will be. Now get lost." And with that, I turned around, walked inside, and locked the door behind me. First thing I did was call my landlord. Sweetest old lady you'll ever meet. We've grown close over the last few years, and she knows the whole story. Well, Ethan was still loitering in the hallway when a few minutes later, her two nephews, who handle maintenance around the building, showed up. They told him flat out he was on the do not enter list. If he came back, the police would be called for trespassing. I hoped that'd be the end of it. It wasn't. I've got a steady 9 to 5 now, simple office job, and most evenings I head to Austin's restaurant. I don't get in the way, I just hang out, enjoy a meal, and soak in a few moments with him when he gets a break. I've grown close to the staff too, especially his family. It's everything I never had growing up. A real, warm, loving family. Then one night, it was a slow Tuesday. Ethan walks in, sits down right at my table. Austin spotted him instantly, walked right over. He'd seen pictures of Ethan before, so he knew exactly who he was. Ethan stuck his hand out to shake. Austin didn't even flinch, just asked me, "You want me to kick him out?" I said, "Not yet. I've got a few questions." Ethan's face lit up like he'd just won the lottery. What a loser. So I leaned forward and asked, "What happened between you and Emily?" I won't lie, it was pure morbid curiosity. He said she'd been cheating with at least 2 married guys. Some things never change. It had been 2 years, and according to him, it was rough. I cut him off. "You're not that dumb. Did you at least protect yourself? Or did she take half of everything?" He actually smiled and said, "I stayed with her almost another year just to sell off some assets and stash away money. In the end, she only got a fraction of what she wanted." I raised an eyebrow. "And where's she now?" He shrugged. "Back living with your parents." That made my day. "Good," I said. "That's all I needed to hear. You can go now." I looked at Austin. "You heard me. Get him out of here." Ethan started to protest. "No, I want to—" "No forgiveness, no closure," I said. "I just wanted to know my trashy sister ended up where she belongs. Now get out." Austin stood up and pointed to the door. The staff noticed too. Bartender and 2 servers glaring at Ethan like he was a roach. He tucked his tail and turned for the exit. Austin added, "And if you ever come back—" Yeah, Ethan grumbled. "Cops, trespassing, got it." After he left, just about everyone in the place checked on me. It was sweet and a little embarrassing. Austin's parents even called me that night and told me I should stay with him for a few days just to be safe. They were so kind. I've never had anyone look out for me like that. Haven't heard from Ethan since, and I pray it stays that way. Update 3. Hey everyone, didn't expect to post again, but here we are. Let me reintroduce myself. I'm 41 now, mom of two amazing little boys, ages 6 and 2. Austin and I are doing great. I work part time as an office manager at the restaurant now. And get this, Austin's cousin Somaya invested, and 3 years ago, we opened a second location. It's a lot of work, but with Austin, Jack, and Somaya all pulling their weight, it runs smoothly. And it gives each of them some breathing room, too. Funny thing is, I think I got pregnant while I was living with Austin, right after his parents basically made me move in after that last drama. They joke now that they planned it because they wanted grandkids so bad. Now, onto the new drama. After Ethan tracked me down, I figured it was only a matter of time before my parents or Emily tried too. At first, nothing. I got comfortable again, even reactivated some of my social media accounts. Still kept no contact with most of the family, but I wasn't naive. I knew they could find me if they really wanted to, and they did. First message came after our oldest was born. It was my mom. Weak apology. Some guilt trip about forgiveness. Then she asked about her grandchild. I was pissed. I replied, "You don't have any grandkids? I'm not your daughter, which means my kids aren't related to you. If you want grandchildren, tell Emily to go do what she does best." Then I blocked her. She made new accounts and kept trying for a while, but I shut her down every time. Fast forward to the latest mess, I started getting flooded with messages again. Texts, DMs, calls, all some sob story about how they missed out and wanted to reconnect. I didn't buy it for a second. Then it got weird. Emily herself started messaging me. She barely said anything, just kept asking to talk. After a few weeks, I finally agreed to a Zoom call. Just me. No kids. When the call started, everyone, my parents, and Emily, wanted to see the boys. I shut that down fast. Those kids already have 3 loving grandparents. Austin's mom, dad, and grandma. That's all they need. Then I realized this wasn't about the kids. Something else was up. Emily looked rough, like really bad. My parents looked worn down too. They all started in with apologies. Even Emily. She said she was wrong and wanted her sister back. Please. I almost laughed. Then my mom took over with her usual family this, family that speech. When she was done, I asked, "That all?" "'Cause I'm about to leave." Then it happened. The masks slipped. They admitted the truth. Emily's been sick, real sick, kidney failure. She needs a transplant. Fast. They wanted me to see if I was a match. I stared at them. "So that's why you're here. You want me to save her now? First she takes my husband. Now she needs a body part?" My mom snapped. "Stop being like this. That was years ago." She started crying. "I know you hate us, but she's going to die if she doesn't get a transplant. Is that what you want?" Then my dad chimed in. "We've got problems. Her medical bills, we're getting older, we're struggling. Might lose the house. We need your help." "So," I said, "you need my kidney and my money?" "Don't put it like that," he mumbled. Then Emily spoke, voice shaking. "Please just come home. I need my big sister. I don't want to die. Please just see if you're a match."